is a clip. This is a clip from the video channel on YouTube. CHISA Chisa Z. Let me make sure I say that correctly so you can check the brother out. It is CHISHA CHISHA Z. Chisa Z. And want to do a quick intro into this piece right here. Now, remember, if you go back and look at the economy from 2017 to 2020, and until COVID, staggering numbers. We had staggering by great. We had some of the greatest numbers ever in the history of the country as far as the economy. And remember that Trump reversed a lot of what Obama signed. He pretty much threw everything out that Obama signed. And the economy was one of the best we ever had. It was the lowest crime rate in inner cities across the nation, except for Chicago, which is totally run by Democrats. But if you look at all the other cities, even some of the other cities that are run by Democrats, the crime rate was dropping, and that was largely due to the security of the border. And then, of course, things that were going on with the economy as well. The China trade deal initially that China didn't like, Trump had China paying to import goods. And I believe that started in 2018. So there was a lot of things that were kicking off with the economy all the way up until COVID. We had the lowest percentage of black unemployment ever in the history of the country. You had the highest percentage of new black home ownership. Black's not a nationality, by the way. Of new home ownership, you had, there was a very high percentage of female so-called black millionaires new black millionaires between 2017 and 2020, all the way up until COVID. So when you take a look at the numbers of the economy, and then you hear people, some of the comments she's going to make, maybe I missed something during 2017 to 2020, other than COVID, which is what got him out of office. But maybe I missed something. Was there some Nazis walking around on the street killing black folks randomly? Did he unleash the racist on the black community? Did I miss something? Because it just seems like I'm missing something with 2017 to 2020 that they remember that I don't. But I do remember when Biden got in, Trump's position on the vaccination was, initially he was against it. He was the one that was pushing ivermectin and HQR as alternatives. He was pushing ivermectin as a solution instead of a vaccination. And he got censored for it. Yeah, the mainstream media censored the fucking president. Go back and take a look at that. I think a lot of y'all forgot that he was initially against the vaccinations. And then, of course, he did come out later and say that they're safe. And he said, but you shouldn't be forced. You still have a choice. Operation Warp Speed had to do with getting the economy open. The other side, the Democratic side and others and globalists wanted to keep the economies of the world locked down for about 4 years until they developed a more potent type of vaccination. So just to keep you all remember, 4 years of the economies being shut down would have decimated the country and either other nations. You forget that this was something that was going on all over the world. So Operation Warp Speed was to get everything opened back up to get the economy running. But when Trump got out of office and Biden came in, Biden said he wanted everyone to be mandated to get the vax, that you didn't have a choice. And every year after that, the economy got worse and worse and worse. More years, the borders went right back open, the economy shot to hell. And, of course, Biden was blaming it on COVID, which is, of course, you could do that. But it didn't get any better, and it's still barely moving now. So did something happen under Trump that I missed? I mean, other than George Floyd and Black Lives Matter burning cities down, and then what was called an insurrection on the January 6th, which involved federal agents, is being proved already, and members of Black Lives Matter and Antifa in Trump hats and waving flags, and they planned the insurrection. That's all coming out now. So maybe she knows something that maybe she saw something that I didn't see. But I wanted to remind you of all that before we proceed on. Oh, by the way, supposedly a few people died at January 6th, if that was even, those deaths was even real. Ashley Babbitt, I don't think that was a real death. I think that was staged. But during George Floyd, cities were burnt down across the nation. And I believe it was, 26 or 28 people died, including some missing children came up missing. But that's okay, though. So, I don't know, man. We're going to deal with this spell that we're under here, and we're going to show you some things. Once again, I gave you the channel. You can watch the whole video. I'll play something for you here.
I may offend some people with what I'm going to say, and I don't give a f. To all you Latinos that voted for Trump, I hope he mass deports you and your entire family. Whether you were here legally or not, you got to go. I hope he does that. To you black men who your fragile ego couldn't take a black woman in office, so you either voted for Trump or you didn't vote at all. The police will now have carte blanche to murder you right where you stand. And
so we couldn't take a black woman in office. Is Kamala Harris a black woman? Let's go.
They do that, there's not going to be no GoFundMe's.
Okay, hold on. I wonder, does she know that Cynthia McKinney she put her hat in the race years ago for some political positions. I wonder if she voted for Cynthia McKinney. I wonder if she knows anything about Cynthia McKinney. A real black woman. So-called.
Ask your family to ask us for shit. Just die. They can't afford to bury you. Dig a hole in their backyard. It is what it is.
Wow.
But don't expect sympathy. Don't expect protest in the streets. We're not doing that. Black women, we're done with. We're done.
See?
We did our due diligence for this century and the next. We've done enough. We're not doing anymore.
This century.
You white women that once again voted against your interests, when your husbands start knocking you into the middle of next week and you can't do anything about it because no fault divorce is in play, I want you to take those black eyes and those busted lips as a personal thank you from Donald J. Trump each and every time you get hit. Take it.
It's pretty funny, but the divorce thing had more to do with splitting everything evenly instead of the woman getting the bulk of the estate. Let's continue more with some of the hatred here we're receiving from a black feminist, because we're going to get into feminism and how it's plaguing the community.
Don't look for nobody else. Don't ask for help. Take your beatings.
Hear that?
For all of y'all that voted for Trump, I hope you get exactly what you voted for. Because the only thing he did was to make America great for the people that it was great for from the beginning, white men. That's what he did. He couldn't run the risk of whiteness no longer being the default. All
right, so let's handle something real quick. America is the land. It is North America, South America, Central America, and the Caribbean, including Brazil. Mentioned, South America, Brazil, Mexico, all of that, the Caribbean, Canada. When you factor in the amount of melanated people in the Americas only, it outnumbers so-called white people or people from Europe that are the lighter Irish and the British and the Scandinavians and the Swiss and the Dutch and the German and the Ukrainian and on and on and on. Our numbers outnumber that, about 4-1. That is what America is. It's the land, it's the territory. Now, the U.S. corporation was set up as a corporation that only exists 20 square miles in the District of Columbia, which Donald Trump seems to be dismantling. Some things he's trying to dismantle with the U.S. corporation, which basically wants everyone to be subservient to the corporation. It's a foreign corporation. It's not even run from here. It's run from London and Britain. The crown is pretty much over the U.S. corporation. And of course, that nation, Israel, makes a lot of decisions too. So When everyone talks about making America great, that is making the people of the territory great. Donald Trump has never said anything about making the corporation great, making the United States great. That would be making a corporation great. That would mean he's in on the game. He's in on putting it to you again. He's in on bending you over like every other politician has bent you over that's gotten the White House, including Obama. They're for the corporation. He ain't said nothing about the corporation. He hardly ever says United States. He says America. That's the people. That's you and I, sister. Look up Webster's definition, 1828, I mentioned before, of American. You don't think Trump knows what that is? He does, because he's already told the natives, you don't look like any Indians that I've ever seen, that I know. He had a deal with the Fox Resorts Indians, I believe, on the East Coast years ago. They are darker than you, sister. You look like you might be one of them. This is the ignorance that plagues the community. You think it's black and white when they're not talking black and white. That's not the language they're even using right now. This is the vibration, this low-ass, negative-ass, black shit that's keeping everybody in the same damn boat. You can't make any progress. And then you wonder why we can't come together. But this feminist shit, we're going to get into this feminist shit. I'm going to show you the origin. I'm going to show you why it's so hateful. Because you're dealing with demonic shit. I'm going to show you how stupid it is.
Being allowed to fail up. So when you're bleeding out somewhere and there's a medical emergency and you can't get no help, women who voted for him, don't take it. You just got to die. If you got kids, they're just going to be motherless. It is what it is. You didn't give up, so we don't give up.
Because of vote.
That's how it is. This isn't America anymore. I don't know what the it is, but it's not going to be America. And if you think that Trump is going to be in that office for 4 years, you're insane. Because we're about to be in a real live action episode of scandal. Because your next president is not Donald Trump, it's J.D. Vance. Because trust and believe, within a year, you're not going to see Trump anymore. He's either going to be, and they're going to say it's illness or he died in his sleep, it's natural causes because he's old enough.
So then why you worried about Trump then? If he's only going to be there for less than a year, why the fuck you worried about him then? Shouldn't you be talking about J.D. Vance making a move to get rid of Trump? Shouldn't that be what the majority of your rant is? Do y'all see how illogical this shit is getting? Trump ain't going to be there but a year. Well, damn, we 3 months deep right now. 2 something really. So he only got a few months left? Well, why don't you rant about J.D. Vance? I'll tell you something about J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is Skull and Bones Society. You know, you might have a point there, sister, but your rant should be about J.D. Vance. So you thinking that if we voted for Kamala Harris, you think that Tampon Tim, the dude putting tampons in bathrooms, you think that would be the good choice to protect the country? Trump is trying to end some wars. He ain't trying to start none, except for a tariff thing with China. And we've been getting screwed. No matter how it happened, we've been getting played. Period. He ain't trying to start no new conflict wars. Trying to end them. This is what we're dealing with when we deal with feminism. Let me scroll down here quickly a little further here. Get past some of her stuff. Get back to the brother real quick.
Exactly what the you deserve.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Wow. These feminists are crashing out online. They are losing their minds. This should be very disturbing to you because just the amount of hate and ill wishing on everybody who she mentioned there is very, very, very concerning. Imagine if I got up here and said that about any group of women, because you disagreeing with feminists in our modern day is already categorized as hate speech, right? Having a different type of set of values, having more conservative values than a lot of these chicks, they'll look at you crazy. But I want you to see what a lot of these chicks are getting away with saying.
A lot of them.
Death on black men,
death, man.
Harm on other women who disagree with them. And I get it.
On their fathers.
Elections did not go your way.
On their fathers.
But do these chicks understand that this exact same mentality, response, is why, maybe just why people think a lot of feminists are just toxic. I've personally spent most of this election speaking out against people who are like, divorce your husband because
See that?
he may be voting different than you. There was
I
a
hear that
chick who
shit.
didn't want to take her grandma to the polls because she was going to vote for Kamala Harris. And I'm like, man, hold on. Like, you're going to break up your family, treat your grandparents horribly because you disagree with their viewpoint on this situation. And they'll also wish death on them? That's ludicrous. Just take the L and drink the coffee.
Drink the coffee.
So this is what I'm saying about when we go back to the whole black thing and and not being a nationality, and not being a people. There can't be any unity. And then you're dealing with things like this, with the CIA's mind control operation of feminism that is decimating the community and has a lot of people under a spell, men and women. It's got you both under a spell. So I want to mention something now. We're going to move forward with some other things here. Once again, that is the channel of the brother is CHISHAZ. Chissa Z is the name of that channel I just hit you with if you want to watch that brother's podcast. But I want to read something to you here. Well, let me show you something. Let me show y'all something real quick. Let me do this to you here. Get this up. Get this picture up here if it comes up. Come on, let's go. Boom. Let's go. Boom. So when you have feminists that are talking about you hope that the brothers that voted for Trump die and you find them dead in the street, and you voted for whoever, and the Hispanics and the Mexicans and all the men, what you're really talking is you're talking about heterosexual males. That's what you're talking about. You're talking about the heterosexual men. Because most of the gay men probably voted for Kamala Harris. Most of them. Not saying all, but most of them. So what you're saying is, by you taking the stance that you're taking, so-called black women, feminist black women, you taking the same stance that the sister just took, and getting online saying these things. And I think I've probably seen about 30 videos after the election and shit like that. And I had only seen a few sisters come out and speak against those women. And that was more disheartening than to hear them speak against, brothers, was only hearing 3 or 4 women coming out to speak against them. So either you're not saying anything, or you kind of feel a certain way, which is interesting about our community. So feminism, what the sister is really doing, let me show you how stupid it is. It's stupid, it's illogical. It's obviously a psychological experiment. I'm going to show you that next. But what you're saying is you want these type of men here, right here in the image I'm showing you. You want these type of men. See the brother with the nice AR? He got it all tricked out and everything, and got a nice suppressor on it. He got a light on it. He's got a custom trigger. See how he's got his finger up here? He knows what he's doing. I see a lot of women carrying firearms and they got their finger dropped in here. Or they got it down here hanging. He's got it up here. Right? Nice scope on there. He's got his shooting glasses. Everything looks beautiful. You asking these type of men right here. Hold on. Show you how dumb you are. Dum-dums. You're asking these brothers right here who probably spend 4 or 5 days in the gym a week. Probably another 3, 4 days at the range or training. Eating right. Sleeping right. Reading, meditating. The whole thing, getting sunlight, getting this training in. For whoever. It don't matter who the enemy is. Whoever they are. Don't matter what they look like, what color, whatever. He ready. But you asking these men, you're forcing these type of men right here. Right? Look, see that, brother? You're forcing those type of men right there to join with these type of motherfuckers. That's what you're doing. That's how stupid feminism is. Feminist movement. You're dumb. Because now you're forcing masculinity to be with masculinity to join up to make sure that we protecting each other. Because you see us as a threat, you ain't going to protect, you ain't going to help. I don't care what you look like, who in the fuck you voted for, what complexion you are in the street, what gender you are. If I see another person hurt and wounded for whatever purpose, I'm going to assist in any way I can positively, whether that be making a phone call to call the authorities or the ambulance, whether it be going over fixing, establishing a tourniquet, whatever it's going to be, I'm going to fucking help because I'm a human. I'm a human first. You women are sick. You're sick. So you want to force the masculine to work with the masculine. The brothers to join these guys. The heterosexual Hispanics and the Latinas. The Latinos and the Asians, the heterosexual Asians is getting it in. The Hawaiians, the Puerto Ricans, the Costa Ricans. The Haitians, the Jamaicans, the Hawaiians, the Samoans, the Dominicans, the Nicaraguans, the Canadians. You want to force us all to join forces? Just so we got each other's back so we ain't got to worry about your dumb ass? Is that what you're stupid. You're stupid. Keep talking that smack. Go ahead, make us link up with each other. Some of us waiting for that. Some of them white boys y'all think that are rednecks, they waiting for that shit. They waiting for you to wake up. They're waiting for you to wake up. Let's get into Gloria Steinem. That's why I don't do that colorism, color stuff. It's nationality. I love myself. I love the people who appear to look like me, but all of them aren't me. I'm down for whoever's down with me. But I do comprehend nationality. I ain't never gonna stop eating bean pies and sweet potato pies and greens and cornbread and macaroni and cheese and peach cobbler and hot water cornbread and butter roll. I ain't gonna never stop eating that shit. Let's deal with feminism. This is Gloria Steinem. Hope y'all can see the image here. We're gonna deal with this real quick. Gloria Steinem's operations against the various social and political movements in America, particularly her role in creating a hateful and virulent strain of black feminism that attacks black men while parenting with the white establishment. Gloria Steinem first came across the radar of black men in 1978 when Steinem put a book out called Black Macho and the Myth of the Superwoman on the cover of Miss Magazine, the magazine which she controlled. The book was written by a black feminist and activist named, I believe it is Massily Wallace, who came out of nowhere, CIA, just like she was CIA. Wallace was in her early 20s at the time, yet she was being touted as the leader of black feminism. In the book, Wallace called abolitionists like Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth, one of them is mythical, ugly and stupid for supporting black men. She called black revolutionaries chauvinist macho pigs. Black revolutionaries are the one who established the breakfast programs to feed the young children in the community. That's what the black revolutionaries did. And eventually the local cities got with them to learn what they were doing, and then the cities adopted the same programs from the so-called black revolutionaries, which were chauvinist macho pigs, but they're feeding the children. And we're setting up defense programs in the neighborhoods. This is before they got political. That was a downfall. But she called them chauvinist macho pigs and advised black women to get it alone. Gloria Steinem said that Wallace's book would define the future of black relationships. Yes, it did. Ain't that a bitch? And she pushed hard to make sure that the book received massive publicity. Gloria Steinem's work triggered a flood of hate black men books and films that continue to this day. Needless to say, some were quite suspicious of Miss Magazine and Gloria Steinem. Why was Steinem sticking her nose into the affairs of the black community? Black's not a nationality. So people started doing some research on Steinem when it came out that Steinem was probably the ghostwriter of the book of, her name was Michelle Wallace. There was a typo earlier. Michelle Wallace, name on it. Wallace had a nervous breakdown. That's not why she had a nervous breakdown. I'll tell you why. and went into hiding for 2 years. However, the damage was already done, and the Hate Black Men movement was off and running, but research into Gloria Steinem's background continued. What follows is the finding of many different researchers. Gloria Steinem, you all, was recruited by the CIA before she became Gloria Steinem. She was a CIA agent. The feminist movement was under another organization called, I believe, the OSS, which was before it goes way back. They were working on this for a while. Gloria Steinem also is, you see that goddamn chin? Anytime you see somebody with a pointy ass chin, your radar need to go up. This is not a good picture of her. She got a square ass jaw too. She was also a witch in the order. She was one of the CIA's most successful agents, even before being Gloria Steinem. Then once she became Gloria Steinem, it just kind of took off. And I just wanted to point that out to you all because we're going to get into a few things on feminism and how it is basically is plagued the community, and you're wondering why we have so many problems with relationships. Then if you want to get more into, make sure you look up Gloria Steinem. Just type in Gloria Steinem CIA agent. Do a search on another platform. You ain't got to use YouTube. Use other platforms to search. You'll find a lot about Gloria Steinem. What black feminism is really about. Okay, we're still talking about your girl, or whatever she is, Kamala Imhoff Harris. We still talking about that agenda. This is Nina Simone and her husband. This is Alice Walker. I think she's an author of Color Purple. Y'all wonder why niggas was portrayed such as villains in Color Purple? Look who she with. Feminist. Even though she was done wrong by, she was also done wrong by Kamala Harris too, though. Some of her she had some business dealings, and Kamala was involved in there somehow with some type of bill or some shit. But you can look it up. Alice Walker, feminist. Maya Angelou, look at Maya Angelou. Wow, look who she with. Bet y'all didn't know that, huh? Maya Angelou, the souls of black women. Maya Angelou. And if you look up the ones today, like AOC and I believe a few others, you will take a look at their families also. You see, here's Barack Obama. Here's Barack Obama putting a mellow around Gloria Steinem's neck because they one and the same. He's not for you either. Putting a medal around the witch's neck. So that's just a few things I wanted to show you before we kind of delve a little bit into the interracial agenda and why it is so easily being pushed, and why a lot of our sisters are falling for it so easy today. And they're not saying it's being marketed, advertised, and promoted, and they ain't saying nothing about it. And there was Gloria Steinem then, with, I forget her name, Dorothy something. She was another one. Oh, I forgot to tell you that the sister that was with Gloria Steinem, Michelle, she had a nervous breakdown when she found out that Gloria Steinem was heavy into the craft, witchcraft, and that she found out Gloria Steinem was not even a woman. Was not even a woman. That is what caused her assistant to have a nervous breakdown and go into hiding for 2 years. So you have a women's movement that was targeted towards black women. Let me go back. You have a movement that was pretty much initiated by the CIA under its MK Ultra program going way back. Mind control program going way back. That was initially targeted towards women, and then specifically black women. But this is not even a woman. And you can see one of her eyes is bigger than the other one. That also gives that signs of trauma and experiments in the whole nine. But you have sisters following a movement today. They doing this today, right? And Black Lives Matter doing this shit. All the women with Black Lives Matter, yeah, they doing that shit too. They're following the traditions of an organization feminist organization. Feminism. That wasn't even started by women. Started by men. You ever wonder why most of them act so masculine? You ever met just a nice, docile, sweet, tender feminine?
By the grace of God, I escaped that place by the skin of my teeth.